Yo, what up YouTube? Today we're playing against Aiden Yasuo, who is the best Yasuo player in North America. Against this matchup level 1, you don't want to hit the wave, because if the wave is on his side and he hits level 2, it's going to be very hard for you to walk up, because he's going to dash through all the minions, so we're just letting him push here. My jungler's getting cheesed at level 1, and because the wave is pushing into me, I decide to try and help and rotate. Unfortunately, I don't realize that the big raptor is already gone. I was thinking if Ambessa hit level 2, we could turn around the play and get a kill, but you can't if the big raptor's gone, so I just waste my ghost for nothing. It's alright though, the wave is pushing into me, which means I don't lose that many minions as he does. Whenever you want to help your jungler level 1 like this, you need to make sure it doesn't grief your own lane.
That's him, what the fuck?
Normally I'd try to hold this wave outside a tower, but the level 1 made it so I couldn't do that, and the wave is pushing back into him now. I want to push it as slow as possible to build up a big wave, which makes it harder for him to all-in me, which is why I'm only going for last hits. I go for the E when he Q3s because it's usually easier to land since he's locked in animation. A big tip in this matchup is don't use all your damage into his shield. As you can see here, I auto-attack his shield, then I use my Q, which lets me get a better trade. Another thing is your Q goes through his wind wall, so make sure to use that when he tries to use the wind wall. My wave is frozen on his side and I don't have ghost, so I'm just waiting for my jungler to finish her crab so she can come help me. You can see how much threat he has when the wave's on his side, but my jungler comes and we blow his flash. I try to get the wave out, but Yasuo fakes his recall and ends up blowing my flash. Very well played by him, and now I'm kind of on the back foot because I don't get a good reset, and my jungler gets invaded on her raptors again. Now the matchup becomes really hard because Yasuo is very strong in lane and he's just going to keep pushing into you, and my team and I are slowly falling behind. But it's okay, I'm just trying to keep my farm up as much as possible and wait for team fights. Yasuo is really strong in lane and it's hard to contest him, but you're really strong in team fights as Swain. So I'm looking for opportunities to impact the map. I'm hovering bot here as you can see, but I'm not super desperate to force a play. So while I'm actively looking for opportunities, I'm not going top here when my Yasuo does because my jungler's in base, so it's not a good play. And here's another example. We're just actively looking for opportunities on the map. After catching this wave, I look bot to see if there's anything I can do. But once my team loses, I'm not going to go down there and int with them. I need to make sure I'm staying strong and keeping my farm up. I see this mistake all the time in lower ranks. When people are behind, they feel like they need to make a desperate play to bring the game back, but all you really need to do is wait for your opponent to make a mistake and not int with your team when they do something desperate. Like right here, I'm just falling back, waiting for the opponent to overcommit, make a mistake. And you know what, if they play perfectly and don't make a mistake, that's fine, they deserve to win the game. But even in Challenger, people make mistakes and throw the game all the time. Right here, Yasuo overextends and gets caught. And unfortunately I played a bit too safe and he gets away. I think I was waiting for my ult here because it's 2v3 and I was a bit scared. But we end up getting the pick on this Kha'Zix on the back end and getting his shutdown, which gets the ball rolling for us. Coming out of base here, since the dragon's coming up soon, we look to make a play bot to get some map control. Aurelia pushes in top, meaning somebody on the enemy team has to respond, so she's free to sort of overload this side with us. And whoever responds top is essentially putting no pressure on the map because they're just catching a wave, making the play a 4v5 on the map pretty much. Anivia ends up doing that, and because she's not really part of this play, she ends up having to TP to try to make it here in time, and she's too late, we end up killing the Yasuo. The opponent does trade for the mid tier 2, but in my opinion, the bot tier 1 gives us a lot more map control than the mid tier 2 gives them, so it's a pretty worth trade, especially with Dragon coming up soon. We get the shutdown on Yasuo as well, and now we're recalling, spending our money for the dragon. Here we see their bot lane catching the mid wave, and Kha'Zix on the bot side of the river, so when this Anivia walks up, it's the mistake we've been waiting for, and we're ready to capitalize.
Oh, we got shit on. Just died. Bro, how? This game's so fucked. What is happening? You just die. We should at least have fight. Swain is strong now, for some reason.
Unfortunately, after we secure the dragon, our Ezreal ends up overextending near the Baron pit and getting caught out. This gives the opponent a chance to take a free Baron, but like before, they make another mistake and Thresh overextends. The problem is they use a lot of their cooldowns like Yasuo ult to get the initial pick, so they don't really have much left for this. Like, I get flayed, hooked, and Anivia ulted, and they can't kill me, and at this point, they're in too deep to get out and we can win the fight. Here my entire team is chasing Aphelios and Anivia is focused on peeling him, so I go for the Eon to her because she won't expect it. We get the Baron and now we need to reset for the dragon coming up soon. Here you see me ping my ult and let my team know to wait for it so they don't engage when it's down. Your team can't read your mind, you need to let them know what you want. We get the dragon and they overextend trying to contest it, so we end up running them down. My Aurelia overextends and dies, but remember guys, we're not following our teammates when they throw. Just because they int doesn't mean we have to, and at this point I have a big bounty that I need to protect.
That was Swilly has 700 bounty, like, you know.
So since we spent so much time in mid and around Dragon, our side waves are really pushed in, and we need to fix them. The first thing I do is I let my team know. Once again, it's really important to communicate intent, so your team knows what you're doing, they can't read your mind. And we need to push these side waves out to create pressure, so we can create number advantage plays when somebody responds. But right now, the enemy has that same opportunity, since I'm not really putting any pressure on the map, so I'm pinging danger to my mid lane to make sure they don't play too aggressive, because the enemy has a chance to catch them out right now, because I'm not there. Unfortunately, my ADC doesn't listen, and he plays really aggressive, so I would have liked to push one more wave, but I have to hover him to make sure he doesn't die here. So I just link up with my team, get them some vision control. As you can see here, the Anivia is now responding to my wave in bot, which gives us the chance to make another overload play onto the Yasuo again.
What are we doing? Like, I can't play!
Unfortunately, we get a bit too aggressive with this and we end up getting caught out. The enemy team is really strong with Anivia at defending sieges, and I end up losing both my sums here. So it's really important to remember our win cons in cases like these. Our team needs to take team fights around lanes and neutral objectives, but it's really hard for us to siege because Anivia can trap us off with the wall, making it really difficult. In this fight, I don't really do much, but I tank a ton of CC and cooldowns, which allows my team to go in and pop off. Sometimes that's all you need to do. We go onto the dragon, and I realize that my team doesn't really need me for this, so I push out the top wave, because Baron's coming up soon, and it's really good to have that wave pushed out right before. Unfortunately, the Kha'Zix steals the dragon, but we end up killing him, which gives us a free Baron. While we're sieging their base, my Ambessa overextends this time, but like I've said multiple times, it's really important not to follow your team when they're going for bad plays. I need to protect my shutdown, and as long as they keep making good plays around me, we're going to win this game. Don't compensate for your teammates' mistakes, that's really important. We just saw their entire team on the top side of their base, so I take this opportunity to recall and go shove the bot wave out, once again trying to force somebody to respond. And Anivia does, which gives us the opportunity to go for a 4v5 fight in mid lane, which is very easy to win since we're up a member. With 3 people dead, we just run it down mid, dive the Anivia, and end the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this style of video, definitely let me know in the comments. Leave a like and sub, and I'll see you guys next time.